What's happening? I'm Will, aka Sir William, and welcome to my kitchen. I've spent the last 5 years traveling all around the United States, camping, overlanding, off-roading, and one of my favorite things to do while out on the trail is to cook a great meal. I love cooking at home, and that just transfers right on over whenever I'm camping. Also, whenever I'm with a group, there's nothing better than sitting around a campfire, cooking the night's meal for everyone, and discussing the day's adventures. Now, I consider myself to be a bit of a minimalist, and this transfers over into my camping and overlanding setup as well. I don't have a lot of gizmos and gadgets. I keep a small chuck box with a very simple kitchen in order to cook out onto the trail. And one of the most important things to me when cooking is using non-toxic cookware. I've relied on a trusty cast iron skillet for years now. I use them at home, I use them out on the trail, and it just provides a great solution to all the things that I want inside of my cookware. You can use it inside of a fire, you can use it over gas, you can use it on electric, you can put it in the oven. The only thing you really can't do is one of those glass top cook surfaces they say not to use cast iron on. My grandma used it, your grandma probably used it, but that being said, as good as they are, they inherently have some drawbacks to them. It takes a little longer for them to heat up. They do so unevenly in many cases. It's very heavy, holds heat for a really long time, and it takes up a whole lot of space inside the chuck box. Also, it's hard to maintain without losing its seasoning, and various other different precautions that you have to take with cast irons sometimes can be a bit of a pain. Now, while looking for solutions that might be better than my cast iron skillet, I came across a company named SOLIDteknics. They make a US-made wrought iron quenched pan. Quenched means that it's dipped down into a non-GMO rice bran oil that basically gives it this non-stick coating all the way around the pan. And then you can season it if you want to, or you can just cook on it straight out the box, which is what I did with mine. Now, I've had the opportunity to cook on this pan for a couple months now, and I wanted to shoot a video to review it and let you guys know how it compares to a traditional cast iron skillet, what I like about it, what I dislike about it, and whether or not I would recommend you get one for your setup. Now, you can see I have both pans side by side here. I've got the SOLIDteknics over here on the right, and then I've got your leading cast iron brand over here on the left. The first thing you'll notice about the SOLIDteknics is the very large handle. At first, I thought this to be a bit of a hassle because it was going to make it harder to pack away inside of my camp box. After using it for a little while, I have found, though, it's a whole lot nicer to have this longer handle than it is this handle. Whenever I have this handle, wherever I go to put this thing, I'm always going to be real close to the cooking surface, and it gets really hot really quick. Matter of fact, I have to usually end up holding it with some kind of handle grip thing like this here. Now, I can still use this on the SOLIDteknic pan if I wanted to, but I haven't found the need to because this just doesn't get as hot as that does right there. Also, a cool little touch on the handle of the SOLIDteknics is the United States cut out there at the very end. I do kind of like that. Did I mention it's made in the United States? Both of these pans are made in the United States, and I try to buy US any chance that I can. The second thing that you'll notice with the SOLIDteknic pan in comparison to the cast iron pan is going to be the slick smooth surface. This slick smooth surface I really enjoy cooking on. I don't know why I like cooking on it. I've never had a problem with the kind of pitted surfaces of the cast iron, but you know, I just really enjoy a nice slick surface. It might just be a thing in my mind, but I have found that this tends to not stick as much with that slick surface, and I don't have to use as much oil as I do with the cast iron over here. Now, one plus that I do have for the cast iron, though, is the fact that it's got these deeper walls. That is a plus and a negative depending on what you're cooking and what kind of utensils that you're using. I have found with these shallow walls, it's a little bit easier to get in there with the spatula sometimes. Also, I've found that this little handle over here on the other side of the cast iron, I wish that they would have just extended this handle that same length and gave me a handle about like this in order to dissipate some of the heat. Now, as far as cooking on them goes, I've found that the SOLIDteknic pan actually heats up a little bit quicker than the cast iron, and it cools down a lot quicker than the cast iron. The other thing is because of the design of this right here, whenever I get done cooking with it, I just run some cold water over it, and that's how I clean it up. Now, they say that you're not supposed to, but I've been doing that with cast iron for quite some time now. with no issues, but they do say that sometimes that can get that can cause it to crack. Now the biggest difference between the two is most definitely going to be the weight. The cast iron certainly is heavier than the SOLIDteknics, but that said, the way that the handle is shaped right here on the SOLIDteknics actually hurts my hand just a little bit. It's just kind of a weird grip, whereas this is like over, I don't know, it's just a weird deal. But if this handle was a little bit better, then the SOLIDteknics would definitely win as far as ergonomics go. But that handle is just, it's a weird design. While we're talking about the handle though, notice that the SOLIDteknics is all one piece, just the same as a cast iron. So you're not going to have to worry about you know, the rivets busting loose or anything like that. As a matter of fact, SOLIDteknics offers a multi-century warranty on their product, which is, well, that's pretty much unheard of. Now, I found that cooking with the SOLIDteknics pan is super easy, just like cooking with the cast iron is super easy, but I do feel like the seasoning is held a little bit easier with the SOLIDteknics pan, whereas the cast iron requires a little bit more care in order to keep that seasoning on there. I've burnt stuff in here, I've burnt stuff in here, and this one's a whole lot easier to clean than this one is whenever that happens. So I would give the win to the SOLIDteknics pan for that. So all in all, which one would I recommend? Well, really that's going to be up to you and what you're looking for in a pan. If you want a slick surface like a really high-end cast iron pan, and you really want a long multi-generational quality, this is going to give you just what you need in the SOLIDteknics pan. It's made right here in America. It's got a great seasoning to it. If you want something with a lot less hassle, this is also going to be your winner. Now, if you just want proven, you know, good, cheap, and ready to roll, then the cast iron is going to do exactly what you need. But keep in mind, it's a little bit more of a hassle to keep it up. It's a little bit harder to keep it seasoned and different things like that. For me, I'm going to continue using the SOLIDteknics pan, and we'll see how it does over the course of time. Stay tuned for more episodes of Camp Cooking. Make sure that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace.